Happening now, the latest following a fiery crash involving a fuel tanker truck in Chautauqua County that sent one person to the hospital. And an update on the revamps to our local transit system. We check in where improvements stand. Plus, a look at the program connecting local elementary school students with a local comedy legend.
Live and on demand, this is WNY News Now. This is WNY News Now with live breaking news.
A medical helicopter has been requested to the scene of a serious crash involving a fuel tanker on Route 20 near Silver Creek. Thank you for joining us for WNY News Now. I'm Justin Gould, and we start with breaking news. The Chautauqua County Fire Dispatch reports that this crash happened mid-morning today on the Route 20 overpass near Interstate 90 near Aldrich Road. At least one person suffered serious burns after a tanker truck struck another vehicle head-on and subsequently caught fire. At around 10:30 in the morning, that fire was reported to be extinguished. Now, reports from that scene also indicate that part of the truck, as you see here, was left hanging over I-90 following the accident. The Chautauqua County Hazmat crew was also called to that scene to help fight flames. Route 20 is closed in both directions from Old Main Road to Stebbins Road as a result of this crash. We'll, of course, continue to push for updates, and when we're able to, we'll provide them here on air and online. Well, now let's switch gears a little bit and get a first check of our weather forecast. Chief Forecaster Dakota Hunter joining us with that, and another hot one on tap today, Dakota, as summer heat returning this week.
Yes, it is. The summer heat and the humidity is back once again for today. Will stay with us through at least the next couple of days. So the lake shore would not be a bad place to be, especially Chautauqua Lake. If you want to take your boat out there on the lake right now, looking nice. Now, we've had a few rain showers and a few thunderstorms move across the eastern southern tier this morning from about 8 o'clock this morning, 8 o'clock. Those have actually pushed to the south, have a very interesting storm direction. Most of our weather flows west to east, but these are moving more to the south. So again, that's cleared out and we should be dry for the remainder of the afternoon. We topped out at 70 yesterday. We started the day at 58, 94, and 36 are the records. So through the afternoon, mostly sunny and warmer. More humid. You will notice it once you step outdoors, but there will be a nice breeze to help out a little bit. 79 to 87 across the region today, but the heat continues tomorrow. We have a better chance for storms. Plus, how's the rest of the 7-day? We'll talk about it with that Ultimate Satellite Solution 7-day forecast later on in the show, Justin.
All right, Dakota, we'll see you back in a bit as summer really setting in now. Thank you. A 21-year-old man is in police custody following a reported altercation with a handgun on the city of Jamestown's south side yesterday. Mid-morning, Jamestown police were called to the area of Forest at Newland Avenues for a fight involving a handgun. Following a subsequent investigation, police arrested Calvin Green, who was allegedly found in possession of a loaded pistol. Green was taken into custody and charged with felony criminal possession of a weapon and obstructing governmental administration. A 26-year-old Jamestown woman was accused of driving while impaired by drugs with 4 children in her vehicle following a traffic stop in the town of Gary. New York State Police report to us that Minerva Torres was pulled over Sunday for alleged traffic violations on Route 60 in Gary. Now, following an investigation by troopers there, it was suspected that Torres was under the influence of drugs. After failing several standardized field sobriety tests, Torres was transported to the state police barracks in Jamestown, where she was evaluated by a drug recognition expert. Police said Torres was later provided a blood sample at UPMC Chautauqua Hospital before she was issued tickets and released. Now, the 4 children that were in her vehicle at the time of that traffic stop have since been turned over to a third party. And an allegedly intoxicated man is facing weapons charges following an altercation at a Chautauqua County mobile home park. New York State troopers responded to the Hillside Estates mobile home park on Main Street in Sinclairville last week for a reported intoxicated suspect, later identified as 34-year-old Aaron Rayner, attempting to fight people. While on scene there, responding troopers were tipped off that Rayner, a convicted felon, was allegedly in possession of firearms. Following a subsequent investigation, police said they recovered 2 rifles. And after months of collaboration and brainstorming, Chautauqua County's transit system is set to see some major improvements pretty soon. Our Julia Gress has the latest from officials.
The Chautauqua Area Regional Transit System, best known as CARTS, will see new upgrades this summer to help attract customers while improving the experience of frequent riders.
What I like to see is murals on our buses wrapped. For example, the route, let's say it's a red route, there would be a red line around the bus, and then areas within that route. For example, let's say the red route was, 3rd Street. There would be businesses along 3rd Street, maybe inside of the, the Desilu Museum or inside, the Chautauqua Sports Hall of Fame. Something that's going to signify that, if you want to go to Dunkirk and you're seeing pictures of Jamestown on the bus, it might not be the right bus.
The Department of Public Works, under the guidance of Senior Project Coordinator Michelle Westfall, has purchased more public transportation vehicles to improve the system. Funding for this program is federally subsidized from a grant obtained prior to COVID.
I know they're looking at the trolleys to be here towards the end of August. Hopefully sooner.
Executive P.J. Wendell says the addition of trolleys should not only help riders get to closer destinations safely, but also give options to those celebrating events.
Now as the budget season wraps up, we'll be having our budget kickoff meeting next week. Michelle and the CART staff is looking at, more buses and, better, a little bit more economical pieces of equipment. So really excited, investment in cameras and certain things to not only protect our passengers, but protect the liability of Chautauqua County as we operate this endeavor.
With high gas prices, officials are also touting the public transportation system as a better option for those seeking relief. Julia Gress, WNY News Now.
Julia, thank you. And the first harmful alga bloom of the season has been reported on Chautauqua Lake. The New York State Department of Environmental Conservation reported this observation earlier this month in the water at Sherman's Bay, that's west of the village of Lakewood. Now, it's common for several isolated blooms to take shape in parts of the lake's south basin each summer. Blue-green algae are naturally present in the water. With the right condition, the algae forms blooms, which might appear as a floating raft or scum on the surface of the water, creating harmful alga blooms. Those on the waterway are urged to avoid coming in contact with the blooms because of possible health risks. If people or pets are accidentally exposed to a bloom, officials say be sure to clean that water off as soon as possible. Residents can report new instances of alga blooms online. We have a link to that at WNYNewsNow.com. And as we continue this half hour, the new law in place here in New York to help secure voting access. And later, the latest push to secure funding for social workers, why time might be running out for that. Stay with us. WNY News Now will be right back after this.
You're watching WNY News Now, your source for breaking news.
What could you lose in a home fire? Your possessions? Your home? Your memories? Don't let your world go up in smoke. Make sure you have working smoke alarms and practice an escape plan for you and your loved ones, because fire is everyone's fight.
This message was brought to you by the Jamestown Fire Department and the Chautauqua Safety Village.
On June 24th and July 22nd this year, there will be 2 fireworks shows as part of the 4 events at Russell Dietrich Jr. Park to assist those that may be sensitive to the noise from the fireworks, whether it be an individual or a child or even a pet. If you email us at ccsolution716@gmail.com, we have some headphones and a calming blanket for a pet for anybody within a 2-block radius of Dietrich Park.
Catch your First Defense forecast daily on WNY News Now.
EagleZip.com is your local one-stop shop for all of your home and business computer needs. Located on Fluvan Avenue Extension, just outside of Jamestown, EagleZip.com sells and services all brands of desktops and laptops, as well as servers and network equipment for your business. All new computer sales include transferring your data from your old computer plus a 2-year warranty. Call EagleZip.com today.
Stop by EagleZip.com today and let us make computers easy for you.
What is going on, my New York friends? My understanding is that you're in school for a little bit longer than most people, but I got some good news for you. Where are you going to be on September 10th? In Jamestown, New York, with me at 7 o'clock at the Reglena Theater, and you can get your tickets at reglena.com, REGLENNA.com. Make sure that you grab those now. It's going to be so much fun. Jamestown, New York, September 10th. Come and have fun with me.
With coverage that matters, this is WNY News Now.
AAA is predicting a record number of July 4th drivers despite gas prices hitting a record earlier this month. The group predicts 42 million Americans, more than ever before, will take a road trip of 50 miles or more. The national average per gallon yesterday stood at $4.98. That's just pennies off the high of $5.02 reached a week earlier. And while AAA says travel demand is not tapering off despite the higher expenses, fewer Americans will be flying to their destinations, only about 7%, due to spikes in airfare. The cost for a plane ticket is reportedly about 14% more expensive than it was last year. The annual youth program run by Pennsylvania State Police is officially underway on Allegheny College's campus. Camp Cadet is a popular program. It runs for 1 week each summer and teaches kids about law enforcement and discipline through hands-on experience. WNY News Now's Haley Potter shares the story.
64 teenage cadets marching on the campus of Allegheny College on Monday after waking up at the crack of dawn, all as part of a week-long Camp Cadet program to get a better understanding of law enforcement and leadership while making new friends.
I found it really interesting to be able to push myself harder, do something like this, be able to meet new people as well.
16-year-old Diego Ayala wants to be in the military after he graduates and finds the structure of this program beneficial. The troopers say they always notice a difference in the kids between check-in on Sunday and graduation day on Friday.
These kids come, there's no distractions, they have no electronics, and they just are kids who grow together as a team.
Both the troopers and cadets say having a camp like this one is about so much more than just learning to be a police officer. It teaches these kids about themselves and builds a relationship with each other.
These kids, may have only heard or seen negative associated with law enforcement, and we want them to leave Friday. And I hope that they've already seen that there's a lot of positive interaction that can be had.
I think that kids my age need a better relationship with them. They're human just like us. They're super nice. Working with them is great.
They work together through hands-on instruction, activities, classroom work, and of course, physical training. Some are interested in possible jobs in law enforcement or the military someday. Some are not, but what they learn could shape their lives.
And we like to say that we are a camp who makes good kids better. And so it's really for anyone who just wants to kind of push themselves and they're up for a challenge.
It's been pretty good. I mean, they've taught us to believe in ourselves, not give up.
New York governor has signed a law intended to prevent local officials from enacting rules that might suppress people's voting rights because of their race. The John R. Lewis Voting Rights Act, named after the late civil rights activist who represented Georgia in the U.S. House, makes New York one of the first states to bring a version of the process known as pre-clearance that was gutted by a landmark Supreme Court decision in 2013. Well, now local governments or school districts with a record of discrimination in New York must gain approval from state officials in order to pass certain voting policies. The New York state law will expand language assistance for voters who don't use English as a first language and also provide legal tools to help fight discriminatory provisions. An effort in the U.S. Congress to revive parts of the Voting Rights Act failed to make it through the Senate. Democrats who backed New York's legislation said laws like the one signed yesterday are still needed. Pennsylvania lawmakers have 10 more days to finalize their state's fiscal budget. The $43.7 billion budget, which was proposed by Governor Tom Wolf in February, contains a more than $30 million increase in social worker and social mental health services. Democrats and Republicans will have to negotiate the final budget, and both parties are likely to make some compromises. Yesterday, social workers and advocates alike rallied to uphold the budget to increase, which includes funding for temporary assistance for needy families, mental health services, and even investments for social workers to assist law enforcement agencies.
Is a $10 million investment to fund social workers responding to calls in conjunction with police departments and working together to make sure that we can actually bring help to these police officers who need assistance in dealing with mental health issues. We have a budget surplus, we have a need, we have the political support. This is the moment.
The National Association of Social Workers of PA chapter says other budget priorities include improving affordable housing and expanding mental health resources in counties. Coming up, we break down new measures that could come as soon as this week to try to help bring some relief to those gas prices nationwide. The latest push by President Biden. And a little bit later on, an inside look at the new educational effort here in Jamestown, connecting elementary students to a local icon, Lucille Ball. But first, when we return, it's all about the weather. Chief Forecaster Dakota Hunter back with a look at our forecast after this.
You're watching WNY News Now, where coverage comes first.
Slow down.
Slow down and move over.
Move over.
When you see signs,
Lights.
Vests.
please give us some room.
Slow down.
Slow down and move over. When you need help,
It's our job
To help you.
to save you.
despite the danger.
This danger is real. Do your part.
Please
Slow down. Slow down. And move over.
move over.
Celebrate the end of school and say hello to summer with a day of fun activities for children in the Jamestown area. Hosted by Collaborative Children's Solutions and the City of Jamestown. The first part of the day happens at the Northwest Arena as we ring in summer vacation with a party featuring snacks, music, and more. In addition, several groups will be on hand speaking with both kids and parents about the plethora of activities available to keep our youth occupied. Then later in the evening, finish out the home run day with a night of fun at the Tarp Skunk baseball game, along with a fireworks show at Russell Dietrich Jr. Park. As a PE teacher, I know the importance of keeping kids busy this summer, so stop on down on Friday, June 24th, as we celebrate the end of school and say hello to summer. You can learn more online at ccsolutions716.com and watch for updates on the Collaborative Children's Solutions Facebook page.
You're watching WNY News Now, your source for breaking news.
Fast, accurate, and everyday. First Defense Weather.
Welcome back, everybody, and happy first day of summer. We officially had the solstice at 5:13 a.m. this morning. Now, I wanted to talk about this very briefly because in the meteorological community, we keep records for summer from June 1st through August 31st. Now, in astronomy, the solstice occurs basically on the 21st. I should say the 21st, not the 20th, and September 22nd. So we are in summer all the way through September 22nd. How about this picture? Our own Andrew Stevenson took this today at Barcelona Beach. Had to put that in there. So basically just wanted to recap what the solstice basically is. It is when the northern hemisphere is tilted towards the sun. So that means today is the longest day in terms of daylight, but we have the shortest night. tonight. And unfortunately, after today, we start losing daylight all the way until the winter solstice. So hope you enjoyed the longest days. They're over. 76 right now is a noon hour with a southwest wind of 9. Look at that dew point at 62. So we do have a heat index at 78, and both the temperature and the heat index is going to be climbing through the afternoon hours to at least the lower 80s. So the Tarp Skunks are at home tonight against the Geneva Red Wings. Should be a nice night for some baseball. 82 degrees at the first pitch at 6:30 by the 7th inning stretch. 79. It still will be warm and muggy throughout the game, so you will not have to bring the rain gear. You will not have to bring the sweaters, but it will be a warm and muggy night for the Tarp Skunks back home once again tonight. So tomorrow there is a low-end marginal risk, a level 1 out of 5 for basically that southeastern part of Cattaraugus County going into Warren County. There's a standard slight risk, a 2 out of 5 from Allegheny County further to the south, and the better chance for thunderstorms tomorrow will be off to the south, but we will watch for a couple gusty thunderstorms. Have a warm front that pushed on through, so that is surging in that warmer air with an area of high pressure building in, but as the humidity rises tomorrow, we are going to see more in the way of showers and thunderstorms. So nothing through the day today. This particular model tries to spark up a couple showers overnight tonight towards the morning hours. Wouldn't necessarily rule that out. Tonight should be mainly dry. Then tomorrow, notice how the modeling is trying to paint most of the activity further out to the east. Wouldn't be a surprise if we do see a couple showers or storms basically across the westernmost areas through the afternoon tomorrow. But again, they'll pop up, obviously with the humidity, they will just pop up in random spots. So we'll start tomorrow around 69, 80 at noon. We should top out in the mid 80s through the afternoon. Now the next 7 powered by Ultimate Satellite Solutions. So we have a few of those pop-up storms through the afternoon on Wednesday. We say, on Thursday, more comfortable, more refreshing, back up to around 80 on Friday. Then the heat and humidity returns for the weekend. Better chance of storms on Sunday. Then we may just see a few straggling showers on Monday, but temperature is much cooler again, back in the lower 70s, Justin.
Yeah, summer really setting in, Dakota. Thank you. Well, here's a look at some headlines from across the nation now. And parents in Uvalde, Texas are calling for accountability at a school board meeting last night. It has been nearly 4 weeks since a gunman opened fire at Robb Elementary School, killing 19 students and 2 teachers. Parents stood at a podium, some of whom had lost a child in the shooting, to ask the board to fire the school district police chief. The shooter was on school grounds for well over an hour before police entered the classroom and killed him. As many as 19 officers were in the hallway of the school as children inside their classroom begged with the 911 dispatchers for help. Now, according to investigators, the chief made the decision to wait for more than an hour for backup instead of ordering officers at the scene to immediately confront that shooter. And if you have kids 6 months through 5 years old in your family, you can now get vaccinated against COVID-19. This week, some pharmacies and healthcare providers are starting to receive doses for that age group. To get the word out, the Biden administration and other health officials are participating in launch events today. Here's what experts say you should know to protect your family. The CDC and FDA say kids as young as 6 months can get Moderna or Pfizer shots. Some parents are hesitant because children tend to have milder COVID symptoms than adults. But the White House COVID coordinator says the better comparison is to other illnesses for which kids are vaccinated. Another consideration is that kids with COVID can infect people at higher risk of complications. Common side effects of the child COVID vaccine is pain, swelling, and redness at the injection site, as well as feeling tired. Less common potential side effects are mild and tend to pass quickly. Experts say unless a child just recovered from COVID, they should get the shot. A major move that could lower the skyrocketing prices at the pump. President Biden says he's close to making a decision on whether to support a federal gas tax holiday and confirms his administration is looking to send gas rebate cards to Americans. Cole Higgins has a look at what this could do to prices amid historic inflation and why some believe it won't go far enough.
As the pain at the pump grows, the White House is considering a gas tax holiday.
That's what I'm considering.
President Joe Biden says he's close to making a decision on whether to support a temporary break from the federal gas tax. Also on Monday, the Biden administration said it's looking into gas rebate cards.
It's one step in the right direction. There are other things that the president could do as well.
It comes as the Federal Reserve takes drastic action to tame historic inflation. But experts say more needs to be done to help ease the financial burden on U.S. consumers. Former Labor Secretary Robert Reich says taxing windfall profits from oil companies could help.
These companies are enjoying record profits right now. Why should they be raising their prices? Why not have a windfall profits tax? Use the money to eliminate gas taxes on both the federal and at the state level.
Just as the busy summer travel season gets underway, consumers are facing skyrocketing prices at the gas pump. On Monday, the national average price for a gallon of gas was $4.98. That's a few cents lower than last week's record of $5.01. A year ago, the average was $3.07. Meanwhile, the Biden administration is working to lower fears that the U.S. economy is heading toward a recession.
A recession is not inevitable. The president really wants to have a steady and stable recovery.
I'm Cole Higgins reporting.
Next, a look at the program connecting local elementary students with a local comedic legend.
You're watching WNY News Now, where coverage comes with coverage that matters. This is WNY News Now.
I don't think that many kids in my son's school even do it.
He makes fun of his friend who vapes.
He would never try it.
She's into soccer.
She's on the honor roll.
She's just not the type.
No way.
No way.
No way.
No way, my kid would never vape.
Get your head out of the cloud. Today, nearly 8,000 kids will start vaping. Maybe even yours. Learn about the dangers at talkaboutvaping.org.
When severe weather breaks, one team has you covered, tracking the storms as they happen. Catch your First Defense forecast daily on WNY News Now.
Visit the Northwest Arena on Friday, June 24th, as we celebrate the end of school and say hello to summer. Learn about activities available to youth in the Jamestown area, plus end the night with fireworks at the Tarp Skunks game. Learn more online at ccsolutions716.com.
You're watching WNY News Now, your source for breaking news.
Hundreds of elementary students here in Jamestown recently wrapped up a year of learning from one of the area's most known icons, Lucille Ball. Our Bronson Rasmussen has more.
Known as Lucy Lessons, educators at Jamestown Public Schools partnered with those at the National Comedy Center to connect episodes of the famous I Love Lucy program to instill lessons with the grade schoolers. Program director Bonnie Cole hopes that the initiative helped close the pandemic learning gap.
Lucy Lessons, very simply, uses the episodes of I Love Lucy to teach kids, and we use it as an engagement tool, as an intervention tool to help close the achievement gap and the learning loss that the kids have experienced, but also we use Lucy Lessons to extend learning for students who need more enhanced and enriched material.
Unlike traditional teaching methods, the curriculum focused on those proficient with visual learning, according to Fletcher Elementary School, Pan Gustafson.
It works. It works because it presents the same skill building in a whole different manner.
Besides closing the learning gap, Cole touts the lesson's teaching power to give a new generation insight on Jamestown's famous Lucille Ball.
A year ago, the kids were kind of not sure what I Love Lucy was or who Lucille Ball was, and now we have another generation that we have built, and we have created another layer of Lucy fans.
Those involved with the program are excited for the possibility of Lucy Lessons continuing in the years to come.
I want my next group of kiddos to be able to experience it, and I know that the buzz will get into the school, and then it'll, hopefully get the second graders who will be mine next year thinking about it and excited about it as well.
Well, when I walked in, this is what I saw from two kids.
Bronson Rasmussen, WNY News Now.
So it seems pretty receptive there, Bronson. Thank you very much. It's so cool that they're able to take something that, you know, in many cases could be generational, right? That type of pop culture, and connect it with today's youth and get them out of the classroom, get them into some of these local attractions like the Lucy Ball Museum there on 3rd Street just next to us. So really great. Thank you, Bronson, for sharing that with us.
Lucy, you've got some splaining to do.
And really, that comedy does connect generations. It can. It really can.
I watched all that stuff, but then again, I'm an old fuddly dud, so. Oh, hi.
That's it for us today. That camera likes you.
Wants to go home with me.
We'll see you back here tomorrow.